All right, everybody. So let's start with the webinar. Before we do, though, let me remind you that we will take some questions related to the subject matter via the Q&A function on this Ring Central conference. You've got that at the bottom in the bar. That is where you see the share, participants, chat, Q&A section. You probably see the Q&As there. I will be moderating that question period, but after the presentation, I would urge all of you to send questions related to this software only. Should you have any questions related to other software we have, I would encourage you to contact our support team. So without further ado, let me introduce to you your trainer for today, Mr. Phil Boone. Phil is a product specialist with GenXcore, and he's a CareClean expert. He will help you. He will help guide you through the webinar. So go ahead, Phil. Take it over.
Awesome. Thank you, Gino. Good morning to some, afternoon for others. Today, what we're going to be covering is CareClean. I'm going to do a brief overview for some of those that don't know what CareClean is. And then I'll do a little bit of a focus on scheduling practices and kind of how we're going to be able to track what tasks are being completed throughout your day. So where I'd like to begin is kind of give you a brief overview of what CareClean is and why it is a software. So we designed it specifically for housekeeping staff. What you're able to do, there's three distinct features that sets it apart from others is you're able to create a customized housekeeping schedule for each one of your housekeepers. You're going to be able to relay that information in real time via our CareClean app to those individuals and then track everything that's going on through their day. Second main feature is our QR code scanning. This is for printing or putting it on little plates to put in the back of doors or in conspicuous places for your staff to actually have to physically be on site to scan, which would start our timer feature. We would then go through the clean just as before. And then finally, our third and final feature is the room by room cleaning history. So knowing exactly what cleans have been completed, types, and when they were done. So I will start us in our rooms section of CareClean. So what we do at the start is we help you uploading all your rooms into the system. So I have different areas of my facility. I have an east wing, I have a west wing, I have a restroom area, but then I have a column of rooms. So each room has its own unique profile. Once you jump into one, you then get to access the profile. So we'll give you the area it's in, what type of room. If it is, let's say, a resident room or an office that the resident or office member has to be contacted before going in, you can have all that information on the right here. The QR code unique to that room is in the top right, something that you're going to, again, put it on the back of the door to make things easy. Where I'll kind of transition from here is actually the housekeeper's interaction and interface. So if I'm going to my phone, there's a few different views that we're able to go through in CareClean. One being a calendar view, gives you different bubbles of what you need to accomplish today. So I've got a morning shift, mop the floors, then an afternoon shift. Your staff can change this view by using the filter in the top right-hand corner. By default, we have it as your status to active, only viewing things that need to be completed, and then also assigned to. So if they needed to help any other ones out, they could have this checked off or checked back on. If I were to hit submit, things could change, but as simple as it is, they would just simply click the button. It would then bring them into the cleans or the rooms that need to be complete. They simply would click room 102, and to start out, we always suggest with a very simple done checklist, is the room clean or not? You get that checked off, and then you're able to hit save. That real-time info is transferred to the desktop version where you're able to keep track of what's happening. But each checklist can be customized as well. So you don't have to just have a done check mark. You could have a long, lengthy one. Okay. Another view that your staff would be using is the rooms view. I personally like this one better. You're going to be able to see when the due date of that room is, what type of clean, and the room itself. They can scroll through if they would like, but in this screen, they're actually able to scan their barcode. This is going to happen super quickly. So they simply hit the scan button. They then scan the QR code. It would then open the room itself. Looks like my room 202 is open. So let's go to one. In the top right, or in left, sorry, you see the timer has toggled on. This is going to have a running timer for you to optimize your guys' cleaning schedule so that you can maybe schedule more rooms for that keeper or take some off and pass them to someone else. Beneath, you'll see the longer checklist that we can have, but essentially, your housekeeper would just simply go through, just like before, indicating everything that is being completed. Now, sometimes housekeepers do have to be pulled so that you would want that timer to stop. So your housekeepers could toggle the timer off and hit save. And if you sent them to a separate room, let's say 103, I have in the right here some indicators to show that my 202 still needs to be completed, but I can go back to it afterwards. So if I were to just jump into 103, I can start the room. I can go through the process. The timer's on for this room now. I click done, and then I would be able to hit save. I jump back to room 202 to complete the original task. I toggle my timer back on, and then I go through the cleaning as I was before. The interface itself for your housekeepers is very straightforward. Simply click the room or scan and go through the checklist to hit save. I will transition back to the desktop version because this is where a lot of the tracking is going to be done. To start, we've got our Rooms tab here. On the left, the history. So this is going to give you that room by room cleaning history. Every clean that's ever happened in room 101 will be listed. You'll see things that are done, things that need to be done. And then if you were to have an audit placed on it, so making sure that all of your employees are to the company's standard, you'll have those indicated as well.